Now nearing a month in release, the horror film Heretic hit a new global box office milestone this weekend. The movie is due to land on digital streaming platforms in a few days, after a successful run in theaters that saw it emerge as one of the biggest horror hits of the year. The past few months haven't been the most forgiving for the otherwise lucrative genre, but smaller titles have routinely found their audience. Directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, the writer duo behind the original A Quiet Place, the movie stars Hugh Grant, cast against type as a mysterious man who hounds a couple of missionaries who come knocking at his door. With $26 million domestically and another $9 million from overseas markets, Heretic has now passed the $35 million mark worldwide. This is a solid result, especially when you consider its reported budget of less than $10 million. With this, Heretic has cemented itself as the 10th biggest horror movie of the year, and the second biggest domestic release of 2024 by the indie outfit A24. Heretic has outperformed more mainstream horror titles such as Abigail, The First Omen, The Watchers, and Tarot. It now trails the Blumhouse title Imaginary by less than $2 million. The top-grossing horror movies this year are A Quiet Place, Day One, $138 million, Alien, Romulus, $105 million, and Longlegs, $74 million. It has been observed that scary movies released by major studios have faltered, while those distributed by indie outfits have done rather well. Heretic opened to excellent reviews, although audience response was a little mixed. This is typical of horror titles, especially those that don't fall into conventional categories. The movie appears to have settled at a fresh 91% approval rating on the aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, with the critics' consensus reading, Hugh Grant has infectious fun playing against type in Heretic, a religious horror that preaches the gospel of cerebral chills over cheap shocks. In his review, Collider's Ross Boname praised the performances and wrote that the movie is at its best when it lets Grant take the reins with a lengthy monologue and go off on his visitors. But he also noted that the narrative starts to fall apart the further it takes audiences into the protagonist's house. Also starring Chloe East and Sophie Thatcher, Heretic is available to watch in theaters. It'll be released on digital on December 10th. Stay tuned to Collider for more updates.